To get all breaking news, subscribe this channel and check notification box. Thank you. The Clintons are finally being exposed for the diabolical people that they are in a new book. We knew from the start. Two journalists, Jonathan Allen and Amy Parnes, wrote a tell-all book titled Shattered: Inside Hillary Clinton's Doomed Campaign. This book digs deep into the history of the Clintons and what life was like working in their campaign. Via Newsbusters. We cannot say that we were terribly surprised by what we discovered. It turns out that, behind the scenes, both Clintons were rude, arrogant, and blamed everything on everyone but themselves. In a couple of separate interviews with former staffers, they said that Hillary was often angry and would lash out at whoever was standing in front of her. She would rate staffers and generally treat them like garbage. She would often go on childlike tantrums, which is something we often witnessed when her security guards weren't carrying her to the car. Clinton honestly believes that everyone is to blame except for her. The Democrats, of course, like to blame others when things go wrong. When it comes down to it, we cannot be that shocked. The most repulsive thing about this situation is where she shifts the blame in a previous interview. She went on the record with Nicholas Kristof of the New York Times to talk about why she lost the election to President Donald Trump. The reasons she gave for losing were not only repulsive, but clearly false. In the interview, she listed 4 major factors that contributed to her loss. Oddly enough, she never blamed herself or her team. It is almost like she is not responsible for anything that happens to her. Weird. There is a clear tie between what is written in the book and how she acted during this interview. You can clearly see her childlike actions on display. We cannot be terribly surprised. But the first group of people she blamed are none other than the Russians. Oddly enough, all claims against the Russians have been all but debunked since she made this claim. We haven't heard her talk much about the Russians lately, either. The next place the blame went was on misogyny. Yes, misogyny. She said that it played a huge role in the election and caused real problems. She went on to say that even women played a role in the misogynistic behavior. What are the odds of that? We are not buying this lame excuse, either. Comey and WikiLeaks were cited as her last 2 reasons for not getting elected. WikiLeaks dumped a major cluster of emails that Hillary thought she deleted. Comey was looking into her emails and released a letter 2 weeks before Election Day stating that the FBI was looking further into the private server of the former Secretary of State. We think it is odd that she would blame the truth on her reason for not getting elected. Her emails were dumped, and there was an investigation. How can she be upset that her shady behavior contributed to her loss in the election? The fact of the matter is, people were tired of the same old story. Donald Trump offered a refreshing take on the world as we see it. And we're thankful that we are not stuck with Hillary for the next 4 years. Do you think Hillary should be in jail? Let us know your thoughts by sharing this.